Hello and welcome to the DFS_PhD show for today, the 25th of January. Remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. And hey, nothing's been a better reminder of that than the last couple of days. Congratulations to the bros, Sully Bro Chill and Bro. Sully Bro Chill took it down yesterday, so we'll talk about that for a second. One in Millie. It was a $2,500 entry fee, so it's a little bit you didn't have to beat as many dudes, but nonetheless, he had to beat Shady. Shady was up there at the top with, a little bit of time left at least. And well, Sadiq Bey got it there. Who else got it there? Very impressive game by Giannis, but I'm sure everybody up there would have had Giannis. Wemby, Capella, surprising. Glad it worked out. Who knows? That the minutes are just killing me with Capella. It seems like there's blatant disrespect on him. I don't like it when there's disrespect on a guy. Okay, where's the next one? Oh, this is me. No, we'll go to me in a second. I guess I should. Oh, this is two slates ago. So just a reminder of the Kawhi triple double, giving bro his 10th 100,000 win at least. So he's going up, trying to get his name up in the rafters. One of the better. It's mostly NBA, although he's got some other wins in there as well. One of the better NBA players of all time. I couldn't quite get there last night myself. I can't. What was holding me back? I got like 314, 307. And the one with 329. So I was missing some combination of the right plays, which is always a little frustrating when you're doing like less than 150 maxing. And nonetheless, I was happy with Niang going nuts. I was like, what in the world? Late swapped onto Niang or something. So I can't really complain about that. I didn't win two nights in a row winning only Saddies in hockey though, and like The Sims. So not positive in that respect. I like to win. I'd like to be up in the rafters with the basketball winners as well, not just having one big win. So anyway, back to today's slate. How do we get there for today's slate? Well, I've made a couple of changes. I don't think I have any rules at the moment. I guess I should do the Minnesota rule. Yeah, I definitely changed 2 out of 3 of the guys, and I still like the rule. So let's do the max 2 out of 3 Minnesota bigs rule, and then let's remember Naz Reid is underprojected for the case of anybody getting in foul trouble. If he's 0.3% tonight, he's the best play on the slate, no questions asked. So I no question about it. I'm definitely gonna have some Naz Reid. I mean, he's not gonna be like core because he's 0.3% owned. So you don't want to go 60% Naz Reid and then be was that 200 or yeah, 200 times the field. 100 times the field is fine for your biggest stands in the world. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, so I like those guys in general. You know, the reasons it's because they can smash. And we all remember the way they smash is you don't have to be like, oh, let me think down deep on it. How does Rudy Gobert or Cat or Naz Reid smash? They smash by catching the ball under the basket and dunking it back in, like or doing blocks and stuff. Like they do it every night. You got to have some interest in them on the slate. So I needed to add that rule though. Currently, I don't have that rule in this draft. I don't see another obvious rule. So besides that, we have one questionable guy. Now, granted, 7 teams. I always do the math out for you. 7 games means 14 teams times 15 means 210 or 190, 200-ish dudes. So listen for shoot around. I like to do the show a little bit more after shoot around, but I wasn't able to yesterday. So I was like, and then the day before was even kind of rushed in the middle of the day. So I felt like this is the time of day I can make the show. So even though it's somewhere between a slate starter and whatever, I'll just leave you with what to do if and if not, Isaiah Hardenstein is in. So I think if he's back in, he's full go, and you just plug him in and play him, pretty much, because he was getting full ridiculous minutes before. Now, if he's out, you will play Jericho Sims, right? I mean, like you saw that game. They played Jericho Sims his role. I mean, they just put him in the Hardenstein role. What? I mean, like he didn't close necessarily, but Hardenstein doesn't close necessarily. So anyway, you can if you wanted to, I think you could make this a Precious fork with either one of them. But Precious's price is up to 4,500, and I think no ownership, so you can do it for leverage, but it's just not where I want to go on this slate. We got plenty of other center options. Nick Claxton being one of them. I think he's a little bit underprojected. So let me just go through the other people I've changed the projections on. I made Cat and Anthony Edwards have the exact same median upside because I think they're the exact same median upside for this particular slate, at least in general, also. Hartenstein, I popped him up to 38. Obviously, you don't play him if there's a word of a minutes limit or whatever, but I don't think he'll. I mean, it was Achilles soreness or something, so maybe they play him differently going forward. You take a risk, you figure out what percentage chance you think they're going to actually change the way they, you know, this is what is Tom Thibodeau or something. He's not going to change the way he's done it forever. If the guy says he's good to go, he's going to just play him forever. So anyway, I think those are my guys I've changed. I changed Gafford too, because Gafford just like they play him a bunch of minutes. It's not like they're jamming in Mike Muscala minutes like he's Okongwu or something, like he's fine, but they're not jamming in Muscala minutes. So yeah, we'll get to some Nas Reed. I'm sure like 30% Nas Reed appropriate. But besides that, who are the actually good plays on the slate? Not the ones that I've finagled in based on some personal history or whatever. Colin Sexton, it's a bunch of Utah guys. I guess what is somebody out today? I might be missing some news here. Let me look at it a little closer. Utah. Marking it, and I see all the guys. I guess they're just running a tightish rotation. The guys are still under. What are the prices on these guys? Chris Dunn is still underpriced. Simone, you saw him get there for 100K the other day. So I mean, I guess that's what it is. Any of these guys really could hit the nuts any given night. So, and they're still pretty underpriced for their role. Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Chris Dunn from this team. Those are your three best ones. Dinwiddie's the other one that's like, I don't know, man. He's shrunk to nothing last game, but like he had a bunch of good games right before that. So I don't think you can just extrapolate that he's going to shrink to nothing every game and be completely overtaken by bench like Dennis Smith Jr. or somebody ran a Lonnie Walker. I hope that that's not the case for him professionally, but I don't. It seemed like a one-off game where he just like missed every shot and lost his confidence. So hopefully he is recovered. I guess now that I've said it that way, let's mirror that confidence with a 30% limit because I don't really feel super confident in the Spencer Dinwiddie being up there with my biggest plays of the slate. Yep. Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Chris Dunn. I'm playing Utah guys. They're playing Washington, and they're kind of the guys who would play a lot even if it was becoming a blowout. Colin Sexton, Chris Dunn. I think they could get there in a reasonable, third quarter minutes blowout. And sometimes teams are playing them, they'll lose like 2 or 3 minutes, 5 minutes in a blowout. So Washington's the kind of team that could give up a lot of points in a blowout. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I wanted to be a blowout or not with that game. Beyond that, we play some Tyrese Maxey against Indiana. That's another game where you got an attractive high total game. Where's Embiid? Do we just not have enough value to get there? Yeah, we're just not getting to that much Embiid because of the value situation, but I think this might be 20%. That's fine. But I'm going to look at the top of the list, maybe finagle this. Yeah, this is not accounting for how much better Embiid and Jokic are than the rest of the guys. Like their ceiling is higher than these guys, like much higher. So you can put Sabonis and AD at like the next level at like 55. Maybe get a LeBron at 50 in there or something. He's been, him and Maxey at 50. I think just leaving them at the next level is fine. But I think AD and Sabonis have another level in them as well. Okay. So, 50% Jokic is a bit aggressive. 50% Embiid is a bit aggressive. I don't think I'm going to want to do what I need to do to get there. So I'll cap them both around 30% because, I think they're good values, but like, do I think they necessarily break the slate? No, I don't. I don't think they necessarily score 80 to 100 fantasy points every time for us. But as a result of jamming in a couple more of those studs, I am having to play more people like Io, more people, a little bit more Chris Dunn. I'm comfortable with that. So if you're comfortable with that, we're on the same plan. And if not, you're going to play more mid-range guys. But regardless, remember, you're good enough, you're strong enough, and gosh darn it, someone's got to win that money. Might as well be us. Congratulations again to the bros.